All right.
We just took so long to answer that question.
I know, I love it. It's for the long format YouTube.
No, literally.
Hello, my name is Cara-Hope Lorraine, and I'm the director for Clothed Identity.
Hi, my name is Joseph, and I was the DP for Clothed Identity.
Hi, my name is Lindey Sage, and I play the character of Lila in Clothed Identity.
If it makes sense and emotionally moves me, then it's done its job.
And that was one of the toughest scenes to shoot because it was really dramatic and intense, and I was not expecting most of the things that they were gonna do.
This film covers very sensitive subjects, and I wanted to be very truthful and very respectful with the way that I was portraying these scenarios.
Just watch it and learn something from it. First question, favorite scene to film?
You go first.
Okay. That's so hard. There's so many scenes I love, but for some reason, my favorite scene that's sticking out right now is when we did the alley scene, because I'll never forget, it was so cold that night. It was only October.
Yeah, and it was literally 1 in the morning. Yeah, it was like
We had,
in an actual alleyway.
Yeah. I had put all of the hardest scenes like that day to really exhaust them to get them to where I wanted them emotionally at that scene. That's the nice thing as a director and the writer and producer. I was able to kind of put scenes like as an actor that would help
Totally.
in the best way.
Absolutely.
And so I think that one sticks out because I was in my car. Because
You weren't even there yet.
I didn't. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, first of all, the reason for that was I was very cold.
Yeah.
But I also knew that if I watched the scene, and you'll see it when you see the film, that if I could watch this scene without dialogue and hearing the girls going at it, that if it makes sense and emotionally moves me, then it's done its job.
Yeah.
And so I'll just never forget, I have a BTS video, it's like low light, I've got my hat on, my hoodie, and I'm just like with the director thing bundled up, and I'm just like watching these people, I'm like praying over it, I'm like, please just give us this shot, we need this so we can go home, because we had to film the next day.
Yeah, and it was a fully improvised scene, which was really cool.
We did really improvise it.
It was very loosely put on the script, but you just really gave us the freedom to like do whatever we felt. And so that was probably, for that scene, that was my favorite part of it, is because I didn't want to approach it as like two best friends arguing. I wanted there to be a very different side of my character being shown, and kind of like an unexpected way, I hope. And so that was fun for me to kind of get to play the villain a little bit.
And it wasn't working at first either.
Yeah.
Like we were trying so many different things.
Yeah.
Trying to get
because we tried the
to work.
argument where they were both arguing with each other and it wasn't connecting. And so I was like, let me try something different. And I really was feeling like kind of having just a completely different energy with it. And I think that kind of really just made it stand out, because it was not your typical like argument scene, and it just added more weight to it. And so when people see it, hopefully they'll connect with that. Yeah.
And I think too, since we shot on location, if you're in Melrose at 1 a.m. in the morning in an alleyway,
eerie.
Yeah, I was scared of some people walking by.
I know. Yeah, definitely.
What was your favorite?
My favorite scene, I really loved the alleyway scene, but I think my favorite scene to film was the scene in the bathroom between my character and Amanda's character, where Amanda's character is supposed to be having a difficult time with something, and my character is supposed to come in and try to help her, but ends up not being successful, and they end up, am I giving too much away?
No, I mean...
Okay. Let me start again. I don't want to like give anything too much away, but okay. Okay.
I would say my favorite scene, other than the alleyway, because I really, really loved that scene, was the scene where Amanda and I were in the bathroom, and we had a very kind of raw and emotional scene. It was really cool because it was shot in one take. And so, and again, you gave us so much freedom to improvise. So we started rolling and probably went through continuously for about 15 minutes. I don't know how long it exactly was, but it was a really long take, and it was really cool to just play it out and really get into it and be immersed in it. And I think it was just like a super, kind of took an unexpected turn, which I thought was really cool. Just kind of ended up being a lot heavier than maybe we intended it for, and I think that just added so much to the story. And so that was really fun for me as an actor, yeah.
I mean, I will never forget when I was in that scene with y'all.
Yeah.
I was right there watching it happen, and I'd just taken us to go get coffee, so we were all buzzed on coffee. I'm sitting there with my mug and the director's monitor, and then this emotional thing is happening, and I didn't expect it to move me the way it did. So I'm there like trying not, so the way I handle like sad things is I laugh, so I'm trying not to like laugh at this like really emotional scene, and like my actors are just crushing it, and I was blown away by what was happening with the performance. But yeah, one day, if the world's lucky, they will see how long that scene actually was. Like, it wasn't just like get in, get out. It was like, because you emotionally were in that for so long.
It was really cool too, because we kind of just got to like get in this, because we were rolling, like the camera was on, and you were like, just get into it, and we'll just kind of pick it up and get into the scene. And so we took probably about 5 minutes to really just get a good rhythm going and just kind of improv off of one another. And then eventually we were ready to kind of hit that mark. And then, and then it just kind of from there became unexpected in the way that like the emotions were coming in. And so that was fun for me, I would say a crucial skill for an actor filming on set is to really do your homework, and really, for me personally, to prepare as much as I can so that when I'm on set, I can just kind of let go of everything and be in it. For me, I have to be super invested in it emotionally. And so I think that it's just important to kind of not be worried, oh, what's my line? What happens here? Like, don't even have that. You know, it should be like the back of your hand. And so just really like appreciating and spending time with doing the behind the scenes process that, you know, no one will ever see. But that way, when you're on set, you're there and you're in it and you're ready to go, and you're able to just be present and not overthink anything and take the direction from the director, and just kind of be able to kind of move around in that way and be flexible and not be worried about, you know, superficial things that, you know, I'd say that.
Yeah, I love that. I would say mine is like family. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're on the set for 5 minutes. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you're on it for a few seconds. I want you to feel like not only are we filming this story, but we are in this story as a team. Mm-hmm. Like, I like to really make this world come alive, and that's what I love about indie films is there is no green screen. There is a collaboration feel. Like, you're all together there in that moment, and I want everybody to know that I see you, and do you need water? Do you need food? Like, I value you. You know, if you're a BTS person, if you are just observing the set, we had someone come in and observe the set one day. Totally. I want them to feel special and valuable and know that, like, I hear them, I see them, and they're helping this story. So it's just like that family element to just build connections that are so much beyond just what's happening there. So yeah, just building that family, because now everybody I've worked with on that set truly is like family.
Yeah.
You know?
And I think like people who maybe aren't in the film industry don't realize how much of a collaboration it is. And there's so many moving parts, and you need every single person to do their job and to be in it and to be happy and to be excited to be there for it to work, because it's not just the director and it's not just the actor. Like, there's so many moving parts, and like the crew is so important. So I think it's just like making sure that everyone's like so passionate about it and like so happy to be there, because it really shines through like in the end product. So
yeah, I mean, if you're on a set with us, imagine that you're actually in the script.
Literally.
I didn't think we saw post-production happening the way it did.
Yeah, it was a very long process. I'm really grateful that I was a part of post-production, because I love seeing the process and the different shots, and just seeing everything come together is really rewarding. And so that was really fun for me to like be a part of it. But I didn't realize like how much time it takes and how meticulous you have to be. And it's pretty crazy. It's a whole nother thing that you just wouldn't even expect, I think.
Yeah, I think it's cool too, because like I edited the film, but it was really cool to bring that pre-production to filming to post-production with the actor. I don't think that's ever really done.
It's not, yeah.
And it was like an extension of the actor's work where I was like, okay, well, what in this scene is this actor, like, what helps this character and how is this actually helping this scene? And what take does, out of all these takes we have, what represents the character the most? And so it's cool to even collaborate on that. I think a lot of times in the editing, a lot of stuff can be thrown out and the intention of the film, just the way it is. So it was really cool to teach ourselves how to do Premiere with amazing people giving us keys and
Absolutely.
and then just even the music.
Oh my gosh.
Things that fell through with this project. But I just knew the entire time that if it's not working, there's something better.
Yeah. And that's,
So what do you want the music? Talk about that.
Yeah, the music was really cool. We knew we wanted the soundtrack to be very kind of minimal, very instrumental, just so people can kind of feel the emotions without having, words and stuff. And we wanted it all to be original music. And so I think it really adds to the project. I think that it has a beautiful rhythm to it, and it carries out so nicely throughout the story with different emotions and different scenes. And so it just complements the story so well and just gives people an opportunity to really feel. Because I think, and I don't know, for me, instrumental music is so moving. And so hopefully people can just see that and feel that, and hopefully it all goes well. But I think it's really, really, really wonderful.
That's what I was gonna say, was we're both very musical people.
Yeah.
Because if you can tell a story without words, then you've done your job, because the words are just additional. But I really do believe it happens without words, and then the words just are there as a bonus.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
So post-production, I don't know if I'll ever do it again like that, but it was a lot.
I have a lot of favorite memories.
I have a favorite one. It was captured on film by Joseph.
Yep.
But oh man, I think about it right now and I get very sappy. It was after we did the bathroom scene, and it was so much. It was just more than I ever thought or intended that scene to even be. It just, the art did its thing and it just took over. And I'll never forget, we're all sobbing, crying, Joseph, we're all just huddled in this small apartment bathroom, and me and all the girls, we were just hugging each other and just really crying, and she's like, well, what's happened? Because we don't know what happened. We all just zoned out and we're there.
Yeah.
And it was so special.
It definitely took a minute to reset, but that was really sweet. And I didn't know Joseph was still recording when he got that moment, so that was really sweet. I was like, oh my gosh. But yeah, that was probably one of my favorites too. I also really loved filming the alleyway scene because I think it was just really cool so Amanda and I did 2 very emotional scenes together, and it was really cool to
First day meeting, right?
First day meeting.
This was the first time
I'd never met her. We hadn't rehearsed anything until we were ready to shoot. We did a little bit of blocking. So we had done the bathroom scene. That was very emotional, and then we went all day, and then later that night we ended the shoot with another emotional scene, but it was very different from the bathroom scene. And so it was very cool to kind of see the different dynamics and to play just off of my scene partner and just kind of see a 180 with my own character and just how the process went working with her. So it was fun.
A lot of coffee.
Yeah, we got coffee a lot leading up to shooting, and just really, we collaborated so much in the pre-production stages, which was really rewarding. You gave me so much freedom to create the character and create different things that were in the script, and we really just talked about it a lot. You'd come over to my apartment office and we would just be down there at 10 p.m. and be down there for hours, just throwing ideas off of one another and just having conversations about what the film's about and what the story is. And so it was really cool to just really create it from the ground up together, because I think that it just made it that much more impactful, and I think that shows in the final project. So yeah.
I think what was really wild was I met Lindey a pretty few months before. I met her on TikTok, and I reached out to her when I moved to LA, not thinking your DMs always get lost. And she ended up responding, and we got coffee. And it's crazy because shortly after, I showed her this script, and I was like, I think I'm gonna like shoot this on my phone or my camera I have, and it just turned into something so much more. But I think it was just like from the get-go, it was meant for you to do, because no one would understand this character like you did. And like this, it was so clear, like in my soul and my heart as a director, that this was for her to do, because she would capture it exactly how my brain was seeing it, how I know that people around the world deal with it. And so it was like, who was gonna tell this story honestly? And without even seeing her act. Like I had never seen her act. I just knew, oh my gosh, I knew you were an actor, but I never seen her act.
Oh my gosh.
She didn't even audition for this. I just was like, here you are.
Yeah.
And
Wow.
blown away. I can't even believe
That's
that.
funny, actually. That you're
There was no self-tapes for anybody.
No, yeah.
We did none. It
That's
was just
wild.
like, you're meant to be a part of it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad it didn't disappoint. That's
So
funny.
good. So yeah, I think it's just like, it's beautiful what you do when you really take time.
Yeah, and really just
Yeah.
take the time before, because it shows, yeah. Is that it?
All right, that's it.
Yay! So people can support this film by buying our merch, Clothed Identity. We've got some awesome hoodies and tote bags. I honestly really like the hoodies because whenever I'm on set, that's all I wear. You can look at all the BTS photos for this film, and I'm just in a hoodie every single day. But also, we will have donation links, and this film is going to be displayed in the Nuart Theatre for 7 consecutive days to be considered for the Oscars, and that will be in the first weekend of September. So, yeah, come out, come support.